Lifestyle Creep 9 Habits Keeping You Poor. Stop doing this now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Let's be real. We've all, knowingly or not, experienced lifestyle creep. You know, that sneaky little monster that convinces you to upgrade your life every time you get a raise. But here's the thing. Falling into its trap can seriously sabotage your financial future. Today, we're diving deep into the 9 common habits that can lead to lifestyle creep and keep you stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. But don't worry, we're not just here to point out the problems, we're going to equip you with the knowledge and strategies to break free from these habits and start building real, lasting wealth. Get ready to take control of your finances, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to ditch these bad habits and start making your money work for you, instead of the other way around. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with the most obvious culprit: overspending. This one's pretty straightforward, but it's a trap that's easy to fall into. You get a raise, you feel great, and suddenly that expensive new phone or designer handbag doesn't seem so out of reach. But here's the cold, hard truth. If your spending consistently outpaces your earnings, you're living on borrowed time. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. It's only a matter of time before it all comes crashing down. Think about it this way. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar you can't invest in your future. Every time you whip out your credit card for an impulse purchase, you're essentially taking out a loan from your future self, and trust me, future you is going to be pretty annoyed when they're stuck paying the interest. The key here is to break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle. That means living below your means, even when your income increases. Remember, it's not about depriving yourself. It's about making conscious choices with your money. Instead of chasing the latest trends, focus on building a solid financial foundation. That means prioritizing needs over wants, setting a realistic budget, and sticking to it like glue. And for those of you who think budgeting is boring or restrictive, think again. It's actually incredibly empowering. When you have a clear understanding of where your money is going, you can make informed decisions about how to spend it in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Next up, we've got neglecting savings, a habit that can have some serious consequences down the line. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected expenses are just that, unexpected. Your car could break down, you could lose your job, or you could face a medical emergency. These situations are never convenient, and without an emergency fund, you might find yourself scrambling for cash when you need it most. Think of an emergency fund as your financial safety net. It's there to catch you when life throws you a curveball, providing you with peace of mind and financial stability. A good rule of thumb is to aim for 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. This may seem like a daunting task, especially if you're just starting out, but remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Start small and be consistent. Even if you can only spare $20 or $50 a week, it will add up over time. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account so you don't even have to think about it. And here's a little tip. Treat your emergency fund like you would any other bill. It's not something you dip into for a new pair of shoes or a weekend getaway. It's there for true emergencies only. Let's talk about credit cards. Now, credit cards aren't inherently evil. In fact, they can be a useful tool for building credit and earning rewards. But here's the catch. You have to use them responsibly. The problem is, credit cards make it way too easy to spend money you don't have. You swipe your card, and boom, that new gadget is yours. But then the bill comes due, and suddenly, you're drowning in debt. High-interest credit card debt is a slippery slope that can quickly spiral out of control. It's like a financial anchor weighing you down, preventing you from reaching your full financial potential. The best way to avoid credit card debt is to treat your credit card like a debit card. Only spend money you actually have in your bank account, and pay off your balance in full every month. If you're already struggling with credit card debt, don't panic. There are ways to climb out of the hole. Start by creating a budget and identifying areas where you can cut back on spending. Then, prioritize paying off your debt with the highest interest rate first. This might mean making some sacrifices in the short term, but trust me, your future self will thank you. Chapter 4. Lack of financial education. Invest in your financial literacy. You know, it's crazy to me that we're never really taught about money in school. We spend years learning about history, math, and science, but when it comes to managing our finances, we're often left to figure it out on our own. This lack of financial education can have some serious consequences. Without a solid understanding of basic financial concepts like budgeting, saving, investing, and debt management, it's all too easy to make poor financial decisions that can haunt us for years to come. The good news is that it's never too late to take control of your financial literacy. There are tons of resources available online, in libraries, and even through community organizations that can help you learn the fundamentals of personal finance. One of my favorite resources is Investopedia.com. They have a wealth of information on everything from investing to retirement planning, and it's all written in a way that's easy to understand. Another great option is to check out some personal finance books. There are so many great ones out there, but a few of my all-time favorites include Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, and The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Chapter 5. Avoiding investments. Make your money work for you. Let's talk about investing, one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal for building long-term wealth. But for some reason, so many people are intimidated by it, thinking it's something that's only for the wealthy or financially savvy. Here's the truth. Investing doesn't have to be complicated or risky. In fact, by not investing, you're actually taking a much bigger risk. The risk of letting inflation erode the value of your hard-earned money over time. Think of it this way. If you keep all your money stashed away in a savings account, it might feel safe, but it's not really growing. In fact, with inflation, it's actually losing purchasing power over time. Investing, on the other hand, allows your money to work for you, potentially earning you a higher rate of return than a traditional savings account. Over the long term, this can make a huge difference in your overall net worth. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but investing is risky. I could lose all my money. And while it's true that all investments carry some level of risk, it's important to remember that risk and return are directly correlated. Generally speaking, the higher the potential return, the higher the risk. But there are plenty of ways to invest your money wisely and mitigate your risk. That's why it's crucial to do your research, understand your risk tolerance, and consider working with a financial advisor if you need help creating a diversified investment portfolio. Chapter 6. Failing to track expenses. Know where your money goes. Let's be honest, tracking your expenses isn't exactly the most glamorous activity. I mean, who wants to spend their evenings poring over bank statements and credit card bills? But here's the thing. If you're serious about getting your finances in order and avoiding lifestyle creep, tracking your expenses is non-negotiable. Think of it like this. You wouldn't get in your car and start driving without knowing where you're going, would you? Of course not. The same goes for your money. Without a clear understanding of where your money is going, it's impossible to make informed decisions about how to spend it, save it, and invest it. The good news is that tracking your expenses doesn't have to be a tedious chore. There are tons of great budgeting apps out there that can help you automate the process and make it super easy to stay on top of your spending. A few of my personal favorites include Mint, Personal Capital, and YNAB. You need a budget. These apps connect directly to your bank accounts and credit cards, automatically categorizing your transactions and generating helpful reports that give you a clear picture of your spending habits. Once you have a good understanding of where your money is going, you can start to identify areas where you can cut back on unnecessary expenses and redirect that money towards your financial goals. Chapter 7. Bad habits. Break free from financial self-sabotage. We all have them, those little bad habits that can wreak havoc on our finances. Whether it's impulse shopping, emotional spending, or racking up unnecessary subscriptions, these habits can quickly drain our bank accounts and sabotage our financial goals. The first step to breaking free from these bad habits is to identify what they are. Are you a sucker for a good sale? Do you tend to spend more when you're feeling stressed or emotional? Once you've identified your triggers, you can start to develop strategies for avoiding them. For example, if you're prone to impulse purchases, try implementing a 24-hour rule before making any non-essential purchases. This will give you time to cool off, think it through, and decide if you really need that item or if it's just a fleeting desire. Another helpful tip is to find healthier ways to cope with your emotions. Instead of turning to retail therapy when you're feeling down, try exercising, meditating, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a hobby you enjoy. Remember, true happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from material possessions. Chapter 8. Debt, Escape the Debt Trap. We've all heard the saying, money can't buy happiness, but let me tell you, debt can definitely make you miserable. High-interest debt, in particular, can feel like a heavy weight on your shoulders, preventing you from achieving your financial goals and living the life you desire. Whether it's credit card debt, student loan debt, or personal loans, debt can quickly spiral out of control if left unchecked. It's like a financial quicksand that can be difficult to escape once you're stuck. The good news is that it is possible to break free from the debt trap. It starts with acknowledging the problem and committing to making a change. The first step is to create a budget and identify areas where you can cut back on spending. Next, come up with a debt repayment plan that works for you. There are two popular methods, the snowball method and the avalanche method. With the snowball method, you focus on paying off your smallest debts first, regardless of interest rate. This can provide a sense of motivation and momentum as you see those debts disappear one by one. The avalanche method, on the other hand, involves tackling your debts with the highest interest rates first, which can save you money on interest charges in the long run. Whichever method you choose, the key is to be consistent and stay disciplined. Chapter 9. Avoiding feedback. Embrace financial accountability. No one likes to be criticized, especially when it comes to their finances. But the truth is, seeking out and being open to feedback can be incredibly valuable for improving your financial habits and avoiding lifestyle creep. Think about it. When you're too close to a situation, it can be difficult to see the forest for the trees. You might not even realize that you're falling into bad habits or making financial decisions that aren't in your best interest. That's where feedback from a trusted source can be invaluable. It could be a family member, a friend, a financial advisor, or even a mentor. The important thing is to find someone who you respect, who has your best interests at heart, and who's willing to give you honest and constructive criticism. Now, receiving feedback isn't always easy. It's important to remember that the person giving you feedback isn't attacking you personally. They're simply trying to help you see things from a different perspective and identify areas where you can improve. So, the next time you're feeling stuck or unsure about a financial decision, don't be afraid to reach out to someone you trust and ask for their opinion. You might be surprised at the valuable insights you gain. Take control of your finances. That's it for today's video. We covered a lot of ground, but I hope you found it helpful. Remember, avoiding lifestyle creep and building lasting wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about making conscious choices with your money, developing healthy financial habits, and staying disciplined over the long term. The journey might not always be easy, but trust me, the rewards are well worth the effort. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on managing your finances and avoiding lifestyle creep. See you next time.